Okay. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Happy New Year. Okay. We're going to turn it over to our host just here in a second, but I've got a few announcements. So our host this morning is 4T's, and they're doing a live broadcast. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then we want to thank Stephanie Eastwood, Time for Seasoning, for the breakfast. Yeah. And then if everybody will look around, we just finished our remodel back here. So new ceiling. Kevin generously donated new LED lights. Mr. John Foster did the chair rail. Brock painting, Bennett signs. And look around, it looks wonderful. So let's give everybody. And then, let's see, Obie and John, will you come up here and do business of the month?
Chair, we can't forget the committee. We had Paul and Luke and Obie as our painting committee, picking out paint.
Well, you guys
They
did
didn't
good.
tell everybody, just because they were guys picking out paint.
Well, you guys did good.
They did a great job.
RC, where's RC?
Right here.
Oh, here he is. He's hiding in plain sight. Come on up.
Good to see you.
Sir.
This is RC with Serve Pro, and he is our business of the month. Every time the chairman needs something, we call RC if John's not available. Well, that works real well. They've handled the parade for 2 years and did a fantastic job about everything squared away on the parade. They worked last year in the food booth, supplied some help with that, and it's just fantastic. You've been in business 4 years, 5 years?
Since 2013.
Oh my.
Yep.
Want to say a little bit about your business?
It's growing fast. We have a great staff. I've got my production manager with me and my office administrator with me. And we have about 10 employees. We're picking up some more here soon. And we work a pretty big area. And we've done a lot of mold this year, big commercial work.
Okay.
Along with all the fire and water. We've learned a lot. I know I've learned a lot
Yeah.
about the business
Yeah.
and the people around and the communities. It's been great. It's been a real good time.
Well, good for you. Good for you. Wish you all the success in the world. And John, would you like to comment on anything? John always comments.
These are people that when you need them, you need them. And I have followed them on 2 or 3 occasions, and they do an excellent job. Whenever you have a service like these people have, and when you really have a flooded condition or something that you need major help in a hurry, well, these are the type people that it's great to have in the community.
That's great.
We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
We did great.
Ambassadors and board members, everybody come on up.
We need to talk.
You okay? Yeah. If I could have your attention, please. There's two announcements that I'd like to make. One of them is that it's really great to see the crowd here. I appreciate your support. It's been a long time for our Chamber of Commerce to gain and grow to this point. I remember in 1965 when we chartered this, why, there was two men in the crowd in the old Methodist church. And one of them says, we've got to get a bigger space. We just don't have enough room. And Harry Pearson said, shut your mouth, Davis. I enjoy the women squeezing by. Now that is useless information, I know. And that happened in 65. But in 66, there was a man and his young wife and son moved into Harrisonville and opened up the Ben Franklin store. And he indeed was a citizen for the community. He served on the city council, he served as mayor, he served as school board. And it's sad for me to announce that former Mayor Chuck Jones passed away last night. So I ask for your prayers for him and his family, and I'm sure that the community will know more about it in recent hours. Second thing I'd like to do, I was given the book, The Wall, and I was told to read it and then pass it on. So the first thing that came to my mind was a fellow who helped organize the wall here in June, July, and that was Ed Roberts. He spoke to me this morning and he called me Mr. Foster, and I know he wants something. I don't know what it is yet, but I know he wants something. So Ed, I want to challenge you to read the book, and I'd like for you to pass it on.
Thanks, John. And then if everybody will look on their tables, there's a couple of things. The 2020 calendar of events is on the table. There's lots and lots of things going on. It's a full sheet of paper. And then as I look, the first Fridays appear to be full, but we still got some opportunity for Thursday happy hours. So if you're interested, and luncheons? Okay. Okay. So if you're interested in hosting one of those, Bing's your guy. And let's see, the next chamber luncheon is January 16th from 11:45 to 1. It'll be hosted by American Shaman, RSVP to the chamber, and it's $12, and it'll be held here at the chamber. And then Friday, January 17th, will be our annual business expo at Milwaukee Mall from 5 to 8. Lots of good vendors and tables and things set up out there. And also the jazz band will play again this year, and that's always fun to listen to. Vendor forms are available, and it's $35 a table to sponsor and have a table at that. And then next is our annual dinner is January 30th, Thursday, January 30th from 5 to 8. And this year it is a black and white theme. So dress appropriately, but try and be in black and white. So as fancy as you want to be or as casual, but black and white's the theme. And then our word for the year is going to be imagine. And also Kelly Donahoe will be our guest speaker. And then he's going to work that imagine into his speech, so it ought to be a fun night. The next Friday coffee is February 7th at the Harrisonville High School. And then we've got a trip that's, you can sign up here at the chamber, and is it through, who's it through, Bing? Okay. Okay. Anyway, the chamber's going to Ireland, it says here. October 6th through 13th, so you can sign up for the trip through here, and Bing's got the details on that. And it looks like already 10 people have signed up, which is amazing to me. That's cool. Okay, the next thing I have, this says everybody likes free stuff. The MU Extension State Fair Community College and the Small Business Development Center are offering free classes. It's called Customer Discovery, Unlocking the Mystery for Success, and it's every Tuesday here at the chamber from 6 to 9, and it's totally free.
The month of February.
In the month of February. Okay, so every Tuesday in February from 6 to 9. Okay. Any new members this morning or guests?
Remember Brock Painting? Oh, there they are.
Okay.
The company that painted our back room for us, Brock Painting, there they are.
Tony?
I have a guest, Robert Gaines. He's the newest board member with the Cass County Council on Aging, so I wanted him to see what this group looked like.
Good morning. Okay, any other guests or new members? Oh, right here, uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Ruben Dunn. I'm the new manager over at Carmar here in Harrisonville.
Welcome. Okay, if that is all the member or new members and guests, then I'm going to turn it over to Chad, says Jerry.
Apparently, none of these two wanted to talk, so I'll be the one up here. A lot of you may hear my voice and say he sounds really familiar. That's because I'm the one that broadcasts all the Harrisonville's games with Jerry. Gary does a little bit of talking, but I usually don't let him talk very often. We're glad to be here today. We kind of wanted to show everybody what 4Ts was all about. We obviously broadcast Harrisonville events, but we broadcast other events. And this year we started with the parade. We did the parade, the homecoming parade this year. We had over 300 people view that parade. So that kind of shows you like our reach to people. I did some figuring this week, and we started in 2016. Jerry had his website, 4Ts. I'd been broadcasting Harrisonville football since 2007. And we decided, we're like, let's get together and do something. I kind of hung up my microphone, had a little boy, and I was like, well, I want to be at home more. And the playoffs came around, and I told Jerry, I said, hey, let's broadcast a couple games. So we did the football game. It was the district championship game against Grain Valley, and that was 2016. Well, the train kept rolling down the tracks that year. They ended up winning the state championship. And in that state championship run, we had a game against Webb City. We had 2,800 viewers during that game. Then we had the semifinal game had over 2,000 viewers, and our state championship game had 2,100. And the thing about that was crazy was it was audio only. Misha has a terrible rule. They will not let anybody broadcast live video of a state championship game unless you pay like $7,000 to do it. So they've got a like exclusive contract with somebody, and so people have, and you have to pay $10 to watch it as well. So we did an audio only. We had 2,100 people watch that. So I did the figuring. Since we started that in 2016, we've had over 60,000 viewers in 88 events that we've done. So it averages out to about 650 viewers per event we do. During football, it's a little bit higher. As you can see around here, right in front of me up here is the Harrisonville Stadium. Everybody knows this town revolves around football a little bit, and we average about 1,200. The largest crowd, obviously, was the 2,800 we had against Webb City in 2016. So we kind of started as fun. I like to do the broadcasting, but it's kind of turned into more, we want to spotlight your businesses, and we want to get people in your businesses. If you look around the room here, we have Cam Chenoweth with American Family. He's one of our great sponsors. Lacey Dominic back in the corner. She's a great sponsor. Max Motors over here. We have Josh back here. He snuck in. He's one of our good sponsors with Stafford Insurance. So we want to help you grow your business. And we've got a lot of great sponsors that have been with us since the outset in 2016. Some that I just go in and they're like, all right, sign me up. Others, I got to talk into a little bit. But it's worth it. It'll be one of those things that you'll watch your business grow over time. I always tell everybody, don't expect 2 weeks after we start that 10 new people are going to be coming in your business. It's one of those things, you have to grow it. You have to constantly do your advertising. So with that being said, I've got a couple of little awards I want to give away today. I got a couple high school kids in here, and they're both looking around going, why am I here? I'm the youngest ones here. I'm going to bring up Cameron Chenoweth and Lacey Dominic, two of our great sponsors, and we do an award at the end of every game. We do two awards. We have a teammate of the game, and we have a player of the year. Our teammate of the game is somebody that doesn't get a lot of publicity during the game. We're not talking about, man, they had a great game, but they do the things behind the scenes. It might be a special teams player kicking field goals or making tackles on the special teams. It may be an offensive lineman. And this year, it is an offensive lineman. Brody Rogers, would you come on up here? He's our teammate of the year. Brody was also an all-state lineman for the Wildcats this year, and he helped produce the running back with the most yards in a single season history, and he was also helped be responsible for 4 of the top 5 rushing games in history of Harrisonville football over the last couple of years. So Brody, congratulations.
Can I say one thing? The only downfall of Brody is he's a Tom Brady fan.
Hey,
I didn't know that until after I chose him. My wife told me that, so.
well, hey, you know what? I could get into arguments with people all day long. You gotta give him credit. It is the GOAT. Even though it's Tom Brady, he's been to 9 Super Bowls. Hopefully our quarterback now will get us to 9, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore.
So you know, I got pictures of him in kindergarten with Tom Brady. So.
Hey, and you can't fault the kid because when he was in kindergarten, the Chiefs were not very good. So my other award is for Player of the Year. We had a Player of the Game presented by Max Motors each and every week, and we call it the Max Effort Player of the Game. And about mid-season, we probably could have renamed it the Jace Reynolds Award. Jace Reynolds is a running back for the Wildcats, and I've got my phone out here because I want to get these stats right, and I want people to understand how great of a season he had. He rushed for 2,096 yards this year. That was the most rushing yards in school history for any one season. And he did it, and he did it with class. He never was one of those kids you'd see after the game going, yeah, I did a great job. He was always, every time I talked to him, the one thing he always talked about was, yeah, I couldn't do it without my teammates. And that says a lot about him. He's only a sophomore, which is even more remarkable. So we've got 2 more years of Jace being in our program. I know Coach Schenker's probably really happy about that. Coach Schenker's over here as well. But he had 2,096 yards, 17 touchdowns. He led the entire Kansas City area on the Missouri side in rushing. And I'm still real salty. He did not get All-State. So that's one of those things that I'll be salty about for a while, but the little politics that go into that sometimes. But I'd like to bring our presenter from Max Motors up here, and I'd like to get Jace Reynolds up here as our Player of the Year. And Jace also rushed for 352 yards in a football game this year and 291. Those are 2 of the top 3 single-season rushing records for Harrisonville. So congratulations, Jace. So that's about all I've got. I think Gary probably wants to get up and talk. No, Gary's not going to get up and talk, but I thanks for everybody for coming in. Obviously, it's a huge crowd. Everybody kept saying, man, you bring a big crowd, and I was like, I didn't do anything. So thanks for having us. Hopefully, if you want to kind of see what we're about, you can go to YouTube and look 4T streaming up. This will be broadcast. It's being broadcast live now, but you can also go back and watch it. That's one of the great things about our sponsorships, too. Somebody may not be able to see the game at that time, but a lot of families go and watch the games the next day. They like to listen. Phil Rogers, Brody Rogers, I know, both like to go home. And I would imagine the Reynolds go back and watch, and even when I screw up and call Jace, his older brother, Wyatt, during games. But nevertheless, it's always on there, so you can go back. You can go back and see any of our broadcasts. You can go back and see our broadcast from today. And if you would like more information, there's stuff on the tables. Feel free to reach out to me. I can kind of explain a little bit more about what we do.
Great.
Thanks
you
a lot.
So much. Congratulations, guys. Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming this morning. We do have time? Okay, I want to say one other thing that's not on this, which is not a good sign, Bing, if I've already gone off. Anyway, I just want to say, this is my first morning as president. I'm succeeding Kevin Wood, who's been our president for 2 years. He has done a fantastic job. And I hope I do half as good as you, Kevin. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to go around the room and introduce. We didn't think we had time, but we do. So let's go. Let's start with you.
Rochelle Christensen, American Family Insurance, Cameron Chenoweth Agency.
Daniel Barnett, City of Harrisonville.
J.R. Smith, Serpro, Harrisonville.
Crystal Jackson, Serpro, Harrisonville.
Arthur Julian, Serpro, Harrisonville.
Cameron Chenoweth, American Family Insurance.
Let's go back here. Go around this way, yeah.
Oh, Phil Rogers, his dad.
I'm Kyle Shanker, I'm our head football coach, teaches at middle school.
Jennifer Rogers, Brody's mom.
Brody Rogers, their kid.
Little scoop, Paul.
Paul mentioned Harrisonville School.
Holly Stark, Stafford Insurance.
I'm Marco Moeller with Max Motors.
Lori Watson, Edward Jones.
Ray Kaiser, District One Commissioner.
Doug Brown, Wildlife Finance.
Dusty Long, Hope Haven, Chaska County.
Colby Carl with the Chamber.
Josh Stafford.
John Burford, Vision Source.
John Coffey.
Amy Brock with Rock Paint. Aaron Fordyce with American Family, Tim Ringer Agency. Michelle Biggins, American Family, Tim Ringer. Amanda Fisk, Fisk Insurance, your Medicare friend. Stephanie East with Time for Seasoning, Catering and Events.
Jeff Roberts, Family Center.
David Campbell.
Jeff Fletcher, Cass County Clerk, Election Authority.
Jimmy Odom, Cass County Commissioner.
Tammy Foley with Casco. Joan Mabry, Joan Fashions. Ali Schnelly, Trout Man Company. Donna Bouch, District 33, Public Service.
Bailey Schimmelfenning, your Executive Director for the Chamber.
Ed Emery, happy to represent you in the state senate. Always a little disappointed when RC's business is growing.
John Foster.
Renee Endicott, Nurse Practitioner, Direct Family Health Care.
Dwayne Mosley, Pond Heating Cooling.
Rhonda Woolsey, Crown Realty. Lori Turk, Crown Realty.
Kevin Sharp with Sutherland's.
Ruben Jones, America's Car-Mart.
Kelly Reynolds, Jason's mom. Teresa Disney, Jason's grandma. Carly Reynolds, Jason's sister.
Gary Reynolds, Jason's brother.
We know who you are.
Gail Roberts.
Ed Roberts, in charge of ladder sales.
Norma Baldridge, VFW Scholarships.
Thank you.
I'm Carrie Matthew with Central Bank of the Midwest.
Robert Gaines, Community Web Service.
Joe Custer, Crown Realty.
Brittany Sexton, Cass Regional Medical Center. Karen Allen with Cass County Public Library.
Dan Brower, Cass County Public Library.
Tiffany Ford with Crown Care Center. Wendy Pence with Crown Care Center.
Kathy Welch with the Lions Club and Live in Harrisonville Square.
Kara Warren, Integrity Healthcare. Jamie Kringer, Integrity Healthcare and Hospice. Lacey Dominic, Shelter Insurance. Valerie Reinhardt, South Cats Treatment. Christy Fisher, Hawthorne Bank. And my granddaughters are Lyra Dominic, Zoe. Melissa Cotton, University of Missouri Extension. Diane Vaughn, Pond Heating and Cooling.
Tony Wiseman, Cass County Council on Aging, Cass Regional Medical Center, Peculiar Chamber. That's why I always ask you guys for a bunch of stuff.
I'm Sandy Franklin. I see some familiar faces around here. Some of you know me, some of you might not. But I wanted to let you know that I am running for alderman for Ward 3. I am excited about Harrisonville and where we are going and headed, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity. So I would appreciate your support and your vote on Avon Center. Thank you.
I'm
Guys?
Gary Davidson, 4Ts in City of Harrisonville.
Chad Grammer, 4Ts. And by the way, I didn't realize we had one of our great sponsors back here, Hawthorne Bank sponsors as well. If I missed any of you guys, didn't see you, I apologize for that.
Jerry Forschler, 4Ts.
Santa Claus.
All right, thank you again. I want to thank everybody for coming this morning. This is a great way to start 2020. This is a wonderful, wonderful, strong chamber, so thank you very much. Everybody have a good Friday.